Lions must contain Kyler Murray. Been thinking about this for weeks.
You are Locked On Lions, your daily Detroit Lions podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, here we go, everybody. Matt Derry with you on a Wednesday edition of Locked On Lions right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Tonight is Wednesday, September 18th into Thursday, September 19th. Thanks for making us your first listen and checking us out wherever you get your podcasts. We appreciate all you everydayers that are out there that watch or listen to the show daily. Shouted out many of you yesterday. Appreciate all of you, whether you're watching on our Locked On Lions YouTube channel, whether you're listening on Apple or Spotify. Thank you so much for checking us out daily. Our podcast today is brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. Now through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. You can follow us on Twitter at Derry Speaks, at Locked On Lions, also the Matt Derry Facebook fan page as well. On the program today, let's dive into a little bit more about the matchup. We had Dave Pasch on yesterday. In case you missed it, check it out. The voice of the Cardinals, ESPN, former Detroiter for a few years. We had David J. on yesterday. Alex Clancy, the host of Locked On Cardinals, will join me for the Locked On Crossover Thursday tomorrow on the program. We'll talk about the matchup a little bit. We'll update the injury situation. A lot going on. I want to be able to read my screen here. Aidan Hutchinson got absolutely hoed on Defensive Player of the Week. It makes absolutely no sense. We got to add to the kicker list. Yes, we will do that coming up. And also, tonight in Cranes, a bizarre Dan Campbell story. Very bizarre. I've never seen something like this go public before. So we'll explain that, all of that right here on the Locked On Lions. Great to have you with us here on this Wednesday. Here we go. This is going to be Sunday, 425, Chris Myers, Mark Schlereth, Jennifer Hale on the Fox call, Dapper Dan and the crew on the radio side on the ticket. This is going to be a tough game on Sunday. And for weeks and months, when we've been doing the schedule game and we've talked about this matchup, I have said on this very program, Matt Derry has said it, I've picked against the Lions mostly in this game. I thought they'd be 2-0 out of the chute. Got to go to Arizona. Got to go to the West Coast. Tough game. Improved team. Never easy to win out at the Red Sea. Oh, David, the Red Sea. They're going to go crazy out there. And I just am always skeptical about going out west and playing a mobile quarterback. And I've said I thought the Cardinals were going to win. I haven't made my prediction yet. I'm still deciding on where I want to go with this. But I want to say something about this matchup. Kyler Murray last week had a perfect passer rating. Perfect. Highest you can get is 158.3. And that is what he had in their blowout win, 41-10 over the Rams last Sunday. They're inside the Red Sea. They're out in Glendale. He's special, folks. And you go back and watch the highlights. Go to YouTube. Go on Instagram. Go wherever you go. Twitter or X or whatever you call it. Go to ESPN.com. I don't care where you go. Watch the highlights of Kyler Murray's touchdown passes, 3 of them last week. He evades the rush. He resets his feet. And he looks like right now, a couple games in, that his injuries and everything that he went through over the last year, he looks healthy and he looks locked and loaded. And the Lions defense is playing good football. Props to Aaron Glenn, future head coach Aaron Glenn. And that Lions defensive staff, I mean, they've only allowed 20 points in both games. They've done the job. Aidan Hutchinson's looked good. The interior defensive line's got a nice rotation. The linebackers are deep. Derek Barnes looks good on film. The secondary's improved. But yet this Sunday, the Lions are going to be facing a different cat, man. And if Alex Anzalone, Gaines media poster boy, did not practice today due to a concussion, Lions need all hands on deck and guys that can rally and run to the football against Murray. He just eludes the rush, sets his feet, got a cannon for an arm, and it's not going to be an easy game because that dude makes plays. Think about, we've talked about this. Aidan Hutchinson's going up against his third straight second string right tackle that he's faced in this season so far. Rams had a backup right tackle in the game in week 1. Last week against, actually, the Rams had a third string left tackle, A.J.R. Curry or whatever. Last week, same thing. Lions faced a Tampa Bay team where Luke Gedeke was out and the backup was in. This week, same thing. Kelvin Beachum in, Jonah Williams out. He's on IR. He's going to miss one more game. So you got to figure, all right, Hutch is going to get home. Hutch is going to have another 3 sacks or 2 sacks or whatever it is. But Murray seems to get away. He's slippery. Throw in that Arizona ran the football 40 times last week with James Conner and others, and they've got a good mix out there. They are well coached. Jonathan Gannon does a really good job. If you watch the Cardinals last season, and I don't want to turn this into Locked On Cardinals, but you watched them last season, they only won 4 games, but they were in a lot of games. I think this is going to be a dogfight. Vegas and our friends at FanDuel had it at 3.5 to start. Lions favored by 3.5. It's now down to 3. And I just don't think it's going to be an easy game. I think this is going to be, there's going to be some times in this game where we watch it, we go, man, the Lions are running the football down Arizona's throat. That's a weak spot for them. Big concern with them is their defense. Outside of Budda Baker, not a lot of playmakers out there. Starling Thomas starts for them. Lions cut him last year. So we'll see. But keep in mind, this matchup has a lot of different layers to it. Marvin Harrison Jr., Lions young corners. Lions can run the ball against this team. They can. Question is, will they? Will Jared Goff be back in rhythm? Amon-Ra St. Brown practiced today, feeling good. That's great news. Great news. Graham Glasgow, knee injury, did not practice today. Not good news. When you go out there, just strange things always happen. Remember the tie game in 2019 to open the season? 2017. 17, 19? Hawkinson had a huge game. It was his first game. The Lions blew the lead, ended up tying Arizona. I think that was Kyler Murray's first game. So that's how I feel about this game. I picked the Lions in week 1. I picked the Lions in week 2. I don't have a feel yet. Don't have a prediction or a feel yet on this one. So that's definitely how I feel about it. I think it's going to be entertaining as hell. Again, our buddy Chris Myers will be on the call on Fox with Mark Schlereth, Stink, as they used to call him, the former Super Bowl offensive lineman with the Broncos. That'll be your crew for this coming Sunday. All right, coming up next, I saw something today I could not believe. They hand out the awards from the past week, Players of the Week, offense, defense, special teams in both conferences. How the hell is Aidan Hutchinson not winning NFC Defensive Player of the Week? He had 4.5 sacks. Let me give you some sacks. We're going to discuss that coming up next. Partner, right here on Locked On Lions. Matt Derry here to tell you about DoorDash. Football is finally back, which means it's time for you to order your favorite game day food, snacks, and drinks on DoorDash without missing a play. That's the beauty of DoorDash. Just get that app right on your phone. You can order whatever you want, and they deliver it right to your home. What's your best piece of game day advice for fellow fans? What about that time that you were just sitting there going, we do not have food here. We need food ASAP. All right? DoorDash can come to the rescue. Seriously, what's your ultimate spread on Sunday? Drinks, snacks, food, desserts. You want pizza? DoorDash delivers it. You want wings? Who doesn't love wings on a Sunday? DoorDash will deliver it. All right? Use the promo code LOCKEDFALL24. That's LOCKED FALL24 for 50% off up to a $10 value when you spend $15 or more on your first order. Limited time offer, terms apply. Promo is not valid for orders containing alcohol. DoorDash, your door to game day greatness, your door to more. Download the DoorDash app now to order your game day favorites. Must be 21 years or older to order alcohol. Drink responsibly. Alcohol available only in select markets. And we're also today brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. Oh, make every moment more with FanDuel. How about this Tiger team? They are playing some great baseball right now. Chris Fetter should get a key to the city with that pitching staff. What about on the Tigers and Royals tonight? It's Scooble night. Woo-hoo-hoo. You know, Benetti will be in a full lather. You know, Johnny Kane will be slapping it up. Well, you want to put that money down on the Tigers, you could do that at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. We got something a little bit different for you. Now through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Then with a YouTube TV base plan, you'll be able to watch every regular season Sunday afternoon out-of-market game. All you need is a Google account and a current form of payment. You can cancel anytime. Just visit FanDuel.com. Download America's #1 sportsbook. It is FanDuel. Got to give a shout out to another one of our everydayers out there. He knows who he is. I know he's watching and listening. The Harbor Springs Insider, JW. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to give his name away. Harbor Springs Insider. Love you, buddy. Congrats on your team's success. As we are here on Locked On Lions, a Wednesday edition tomorrow. Alex Clancy. Love Alex. Love that guy. The host of Locked On Cardinals. He's a fast talker. Get ready. Alex and I break down Lions Cardinals tomorrow on the Thursday crossover brought to you by our friends at PrizePicks. All right, so the awards come out. And look, I'm not a big award person. It's not like I sit here and go, oh, how come we didn't win this? How come we didn't get Offensive Player of the Week? How come? This one makes no sense. I see today that the Atlanta Falcons' Jesse Bates was named the NFC's Defensive Player of the Week. He had a big interception against the Eagles and 12 tackles. Hey, congratulations to Jesse Bates, the fine safety for the Falcons. But come on. Aidan Hutchinson, and I get it. Falcons won, Lions lost. Aidan Hutchinson had 4.5 sacks last week. Should have been 5. Should have known better. Come on. Well, 38 special for Nathan Litke, our executive producer. But seriously, is that 38 special? Aidan Hutchinson had 4.5 sacks. How do you not win NFC Defensive Player of the Week? He was all over the field. He didn't just have the 4.5 sacks. He stopped the run. He made other plays. I don't get it. Do you have to give Player of the Week to the player that's on a winning team? Is that a rule? I saw that today and I went, wait, what? How is that possible? Because Aidan right now is in such a zone, and I get it. He's going up against some backups. He's not going to have 4.5 sacks every week. But that just stunned me. Like, stunned me that Hutch did not win NFC Defensive Player of the Week. And again, I don't care about this stuff much, but let's give the guy his props. I don't care that they lost. He was the best defensive player for this week, and he was. And Jesse Bates is a really good player. Had a huge pass breakup in the end zone, had the interception. Falcons went into Philadelphia and won thanks to Saquon Barkley dropping the ball and Nick Sirianni for calling a pass play. But Hutch is off to a tremendous start. He's one of the top graded PFF defenders in all the league. And last week, when you put up 4.5 sacks in a football game, one game, 4.5 sacks. 4.5 sacks is like a good half a season for most edge rushers. Halfway to 9 or 9.5. To not get NFC Defensive Player of the Year. He got hoed, totally hoed on this one. So that one I do not like at all. Don't get that one at all. All right. If you watch this show or you listen to this show, you know that we have a lot of fun. And a lot of you also hit me up on Twitter at Derry Speaks. And we always joke about this right here. I'm going to give you this right now. It's where I reach over And I've got something called the kicker list. It's on my financial architects where I work. Stationary. Kicker list has always been long and lengthy under Brad Holmes because there's a lot of people on this list. Go back to 2021 when they started with Randy Bullock versus Matthew Wright. And the Zane train, Zane Gonzalez and Austin Seibert, who was the NFC Special Teams Player of the Week for his 7 field goals for the Commandos this week. Santoso, Rosas, I'm Riley Patterson. I'm not doing this. But the kicker list was hopping last week because the Leos signed Greg Joseph to the practice squad. But big news, Greg Joseph has been signed by the New York Giants. So the Lions, to their active roster, he's going to be their kicker. But the Lions today went out and got themselves another kicker, 30-year-old former UFL star with the Birmingham Stallions, Matthew McCrane. We welcome Matthew to the kicker list. Let's get out the pen and let's do the business. Matthew McCrane. All right, buddy. Welcome to the list. I like Jake Bates. I don't think Jake Bates is going anywhere. We have a lot of fun with it. The kicker list, it's been a nonstop add and subtract under the Brad Holmes regime. Jake Bates is off to a nice start. There hasn't been any misses yet or anything crazy. But with Joseph out, McCrane is in. And I'll tell you what, this Sunday, I got a little bit of a feeling. The kicking situation is going to come into play. Cardinals kicker, if you recall, is former Lion legend and 40-year-old Matt Prater, who I said from day one when Brad and Dan took over, the Lions should re-sign Matt Prater. Now, I get it. They were rebuilding. Prater wanted a 2-year deal. I think the Lions offered a 1-year deal to stay. Prater wanted to stay. And yet he's been out in Arizona ever since. This week could be that week where it comes down to the kickers, whether it's Bates, whether it's Prater. We know Prater can bang through 60-yarders, even at his age at 40. We know Bates can do it as well. But there's just so much intrigue to this game Sunday. I just don't have a feel for it. Maybe some of you do. Maybe I'm not homering it up. I'm wearing my questionable tees Lion shirt today. I don't know. But this could be that week where maybe Bates misses a couple, maybe Prater misses a couple. It just, you go out west, weird things sometimes happen. Remember the Josh Rosen game a few years ago when the Lions went to Arizona? It seemed like from like 2015 to 2021, 22, it always seemed like the Lions were going to Arizona to play out there. There seems to be more games where the Lions play out at the Red Sea than when the Cardinals come to town here. It just seems that way, to be that way. But Arizona's improved. Marvin Harrison Jr. is really good. James Conner is good. Former Lion Evan Brown is their left guard. Julian Okwara is there. Not that he'll see a lot of playing time. Seems like there's a lot of ex-Lions out in Arizona and on that team. And they handled the Rams last week. And we know this about the Lions. The Lions are a really good football team. The offense is not clicking right now. Is it this week that we start to see the click? We start to see Goff in rhythm. This is a young Arizona secondary outside of Budda Baker, young corners. And this is a team that gives up a lot of yards on the ground. So I don't think the Lions are going to have trouble scoring in this game. The issue is going to be stopping Kyler Murray, like I said before, and also kind of holding James Conner down. It's a good back that they have out there. All right. Coming up next, I was alerted to this story by my crack research staff earlier. Dan Campbell's house is for sale. And why is that public? Why did that come out as a news story today? I will explain the power of the media and the power of cranes where I'm a subscriber. Maybe they'll take my subscription away after you hear what I have to say. We will do that coming up next right here on a Wednesday edition of Locked On Lions. Hey, everybody, Locked On Lions brought to you by our friends at Gametime. Looking for tickets? I had somebody on Twitter today asking me about tickets for Lions Cowboys, yes, get them on the Gametime app and get them right now. There's no better app to buy tickets, whether it's concerts, sporting events, theater, whatever it is, than Gametime. They got a new feature called Gametime Picks that makes getting tickets for your favorite live events even easier. Gametime Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Tigers are coming back home next week against the Rays and the White Sox. You want to get tickets to the games because it might come down to playoff spot and everything else? Get them at Gametime. It's fantastic. I love the view from your seat. You get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy. Also, the lowest price guarantee or Gametime will credit you 110% of the difference. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem the code LOCKEDON NFL for $20 off. Download Gametime today. What time is it? Gametime. Alex Clancy joins me tomorrow from Locked On Cardinals. We will do the Thursday crossover brought to you by PrizePicks. Looking forward to talking to Alex. Always enjoy the conversation with him as the 1-1 Cardinals face the 1-1 Lions at Ford Field on Sunday. I never thought I'd be talking about Crane's Detroit business, but a headline came out this afternoon in Crane's. Lions coach Dan Campbell selling Oakland County home amid security concerns. An article written by Nick Maines came out this afternoon. Dan Campbell's Bloomfield Hills home is up for sale. It was built by Igor Larionov years ago and was purchased for $3.5 million and now is on the market for $4.5 million, all because while the couple, Campbell and his wife and kids, love the house, security concerns necessitated the move to somewhere more private. Dan Campbell told Cranes this morning. Quote from Campbell and Cranes. Yeah, bizarre. The neighborhood, everything. We loved it. There's plenty of space. It's on 2 acres. The home is beautiful. It's just that people figured out where we lived when we lost. End quote. What? Why is this in Cranes? Why is this in print? The home features an awe-inspiring 2-story foyer that sets the tone for the home's opulent interiors, according to the listing. Oh, but it gets better. Want to know why it's in Cranes? There are pending buyers already, but they are described as a large blended family that have been waiting for the right thing to pop up, and they fell in love with the Campbell house, according to realtor Ashley Crane. Wait, what? There can't be any relation. Oh, but there is. Ashley Crane, realtor with Birmingham-based Crane Homes, represented Dan and Holly Campbell. And even in the article, it mentions that Ashley Crane is married to KC Crane, president and CEO of Detroit-based Crane Communications, the parent company of Crane's Detroit business. Oh my God. Why not just say, we're going to do a huge article about how great of a realtor Ashley Crane is, instead of dragging Dan Campbell and his wife into this story? This is the place everybody wants to be. Crane said of the location of the Campbell property. I've never seen this before. First of all, athletes and coaches do their best to be as private as possible. All right. Like, I know where Sam Laporta lives. All right. I know somebody that knows him and where he and his fiance. I'm well aware of where a lot of the Pistons used to live, where Rip and Chauncey and Rasheed, when I covered that team, lived. I never broadcasted that. So it became public after losses, and there weren't a lot of losses last year. The Lions did great. That Dan Campbell and his house and his wife have to move for security issues because people know where they lived after losses. Is that the case? Or is this the case of Ashley Crane, the Cranes folks go, let's do an article about this? Dan and his wife are moving and ham it up a bit. This is bizarre. Props to Dan Campbell. He is a public guy. He is no BS. He is extremely, extremely transparent. I can't recall. Could you imagine Bill Belichick being quoted in a business magazine about the sale of his house? That would never happen. Oh, by the way, Bill Belichick said this week, was it on the Jim Gray podcast or whatever, that Matt Patricia should get some credit for the Lions' success? Come on, Bill. Shut up. No way. Stop. Yes, Bob Quinn drafted Frank Ragnow and Taylor Decker and Graham Glasgow. Cut it out, please. Bill, I love that you're on the Manning cast. I love that you're on the Jim Gray podcast. I love that you're on Inside the NFL. It's cool to watch Belichick talk. Belichick, to me, intriguing to listen to. But when he says the Lions should give some props to Matt Patricia for starting this thing, are you out of your mind? Come on, Bill. I know you're boys with Matty P. That guy was a disaster. He has nothing to do with the success of this team. Zero. Oh my gosh. Some bizarre stories out there. Campbell going public in Cranes when Cranes' wife runs the real estate that is selling the house and represents the buyer. So props to Ashley. And Bill Belichick saying Matt Patricia deserves some credit for the Lions' success. Not a chance. All right, tomorrow, Locked On Thursday crossover with our guy, Alex Clancy. We'll talk more about the Lions and Cardinals tomorrow on the Thursday edition of Locked On Lions. See you, everybody.